All right, welcome to the fourth, um, well, not so much a review, but an impressions video, because this is an early access title. I know it's a bit of a strange thing to have as an early access title, but rest assured, an early access title it is. That is Villain's Legacy. In this adult visual novel, you are the Mind. As a powerful supervillain, you will have to plan your moves against the sexy superheroines you have chosen to fight. You will be able to subdue them, humiliate them, but also fall in love with them and start a relationship. Um, so, yeah, I suppose starting with that blurb here, you won't be able to do all of that. As
Because this is an early access.
Yes, and it's an early access in terms of content. Um, there are several chapters. It's like the game is once it opens up, it divides itself into the various superheroines that you have to deal with. For the most part, there's a few other things going on, but the point is, whatever. The scenarios are in development right now because there were several that I had gotten to just what had been completed and just got the coming soon. Um, and so that also, because like a lot of the Steam page marketing materials here implies that there's a lot of choice going on in this game. And
If there is, it hasn't been added yet.
yeah, that's basically what I'm. It's like in terms of how the scenarios play out.
We cannot say there are not plans to add multiple choices to this, but there really aren't any yet.
Yeah, because they're not done. Like, or how many endings, pathways, all that jazz. This is why this is an impressions video, because this is literally not done. And in terms of visual novels, because we have covered a surprising amount of visual novels on this program, this is definitely markedly different than our usual fare. Because you'll note this isn't a Japanese visual novel or something from the West that's attempting to be Japanese. Um, a faux manga style. More on that next week, actually. This is, if nothing else, like I won't say it's a like a unique visual novel style, um, because I've seen other games that do this, but it's different from our norm, and that is it's a 3D rendered visual novel. So instead of artwork that was hand drawn, we got 3D renders that may activate your uncanny valley senses. Not gonna lie here. Like, and yeah, as far as the adult part, it is not kidding. Um, in fact, like the inciting incident to your path to villainy is you're at the house of a neighbor friend. Like I was never exactly sure the relationship there, mainly because the Mind is mostly an obnoxious asshole, if I'm being honest. I mean,
Well, yeah, likable people don't always become supervillains. I guess sometimes assholes,
but
sometimes they
here's
do.
the but here's the thing. This game also tries to portray him as being sympathetic,
Yeah,
and
well,
that goes that
when I heard that part, honestly, it's a little bit of trying to have your cake and eat it too, I think.
Yeah, that's a recurring motif in this game. Like, they want him to be the villain, but they're trying to add depth to his motivations at times, and it doesn't really work. Mainly because the mind isn't really likable. Like just down to his design.
There are things that you can do that adding motivations can make more relatable, and then there are things that you can do that make that adding motivation really doesn't help that much with.
Yeah, like right down to his design, because the mind is ugly. Like, he's ugly in that way that villains are drawn. Like, he's the only one who's paunchy, who has a huge fucking nose. Though I don't think that's any sort of Jewish caricature. At least I hope not. He's always got a scowl on his face. And he's got a small dick. I have to mention this because it is a plot point in the game. Because of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, getting back to the inciting incident, the path to villainy begins when you're at a neighbor's card game. The neighbor is the superhero called the Black Commando. And it turns out Michael, as is his name then, had been engaged in a voyeuristic masturbation session with the neighborly couple. Like, he looked in while they were fucking. So they take the opportunity to basically bang his wife in front of him. Which I'm guessing you're supposed to say, that's a bit of disproportionate retribution here. And yeah, it is, but it's also, his wife Betty wanted to leave him anyway. And also, that doesn't absolve Michael's crime of the voyeuristic masturbation either. It's less I feel pity for Michael and more everybody
I
here.
Don't like anybody here.
Yeah, everybody here is an asshole. Like I said, they do try to eventually steer away from that in some of the later scenarios, like giving the mind doubts about what he does, and feeling empathy towards some of his nemesis, that kind of thing, or getting romantically involved with his collaborators, that kind of thing, like. And yeah, as far as the actual sex scenes, they are actual sex scenes, and they are fairly graphic. Like if you have if you hate money shots, you're not gonna like this. Like, because I particularly hate that bodily fluid. Like, but on the other hand, if you are looking for a visual novel that has actual sex and sex that doesn't get too weird, because like I suppose that is also a bit of a failing of this visual novel so far, is the sex has been fairly straightforward, or you get kinky spanking as a punishment, that kind of deal. Like, nobody's using their superpowers for actual fucking, at least not yet. And yes, I do have to bring that up as a critique, because this is about superheroes and fucking, and that's a big
With a name like that,
draw.
I kind of imagined this was going to be one of those creepy mind control things.
Hasn't come up yet, or at least there is a character who I'm like, no, it wasn't mind control, is poison. Like the poison ivy XP. She doesn't do mind control. She hadn't done mind control yet.
No,
I'm not saying that's
with
not,
the name The Mind. That's the power that I would have expected.
Yeah, Michael becomes the mind because an alien invader comes in and psychically links up with him and accidentally gives him his intelligence. That's why he's called mind. And
so
oddly enough,
smart.
he's the one who, yeah. Like, once again, it doesn't make him any more likable. And also, interestingly enough, for a visual novel, this is among the more gamey visual novels I've played. That is to say, it's got, mechanics that play out as actual game mechanics. Like, there's a crafting system in this game.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but so what you do is, like, you either go on heists, the level of which depends on your firepower, and you get the firepower by unlocking weapons in the crafting menu, and you you get the crafting items by buying them in the store. So
and you fund this by doing crime?
Yes, or going to work. The thing is, there's no fail state to these. So it's more like extra steps than an actual game mechanic.
Reminds me of when I played Cultist Simulator and I got all occupied in my first thing of holding a regular ass job.
Yeah,
in terms of that obviously not being the idea.
Yeah, going to your job. There's also a fame meter, but whatever that's attached to doesn't seem to be implemented yet. Also, I have to touch upon the fucking font, because while it's not quite Comic Sans level, it's still really fucking bad and amateurish. Like, it looks like a placeholder font. There might
is it
already
a placeholder font, or is it a font that's supposed to look comic booky?
It looks like placeholder font. It doesn't really look I don't know if they thought it looked comic booky, but it doesn't look like a comic book. Like, it looks bad. Also, it's got that white on white problem. The font's white. There's a lot of white backgrounds here, so it makes it hard to read. There's a reason why Japanese visual novels usually have its text on a solid dark background,
or at least a significantly darkened shader over the background.
Mind you, this is a problem I have with subtitles on, like, Netflix shows where it has the white on white as well. That's just a color gradient thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's the state of the game as it is right now in this moment in time. It does apparently look to finish in the first half of 2023. And it's got 4,000 out of 5,000 images. It's anticipating 100 animations. I will be honest, the animations that are in the game or in the visual novel are fucking terrible, because they are at such a low frame rate. They don't flow. And apparently 700,000 words. They also plan to add a screen with ongoing quests. I guess that might be added here because, technically speaking, all the quests are ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this game currently clocks in at $9.99. Though it does go on sale every now and again. Yeah, is $10 worthwhile? And I suppose it depends on what you're looking for. As a Wangfest, this might satisfy your needs. It just depends on how well you can handle 3D models that don't always look the best. And, you're going to get some unrealistic proportions. Right. As a narrative,
it's incomplete, you said, so.
Yeah, it's incomplete, so I can't really judge it on that.
Have they said it's going to cost a lot more when it's done?
The price will not change, apparently. But yeah, it's for the purposes of getting off, I would recommend this. The story, I'd hold off until it gets out of early access because it's not there yet. Literally, it's not there yet. Like I said, that's the
again. All of this is caveats of if you're into the stuff that this game is serving.
Right. But this game definitely doesn't make any bones about what it is about in terms of fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just from the images and the video materials. But I will say it's not overly horny. I know that's a weird thing to say. I mean, because clearly this game is horny and has a lot of, has quite a bit of sexy time in it and fucking and all that. But it's not like that's every fucking minute of the visual novel. It's not like its story, its framing, all of that is taken seriously and is a serious part, is an actual part of the game. This isn't an excuse plot to just have porn with superhero with ladies in spandex or something like that, which does exist. So how well it's going to maintain that balance throughout the entire thing does remain to be seen. But I will say this is trying to be more than just porn, which is an interesting goal if nothing else. So, does anyone have any further questions, comments, concerns, fears to elate at this point?
No, I'm good, I think.
I think I'm good.
All right. So, yeah, if you enjoyed today's reviews, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will know when we go live in the future. And speaking of which, the week ahead. Right. So, coming up next, coming up this week, Wednesday, February 1st, we're having J. Augustin Trobajo of Whiteboard Games. And on Friday, February 3rd, we'll be having Ilyana Savanzaid of Fulcrum Publishing. Yes, I probably butchered both of those names. You know how it goes at this point. And we will indeed be having a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents as well. So look for all that. And until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.